Thanks for joining us on the CBN News Channel. I'm Mark Martin. Tensions on the Korean Peninsula are now higher than they've ever been since the Korean War. North Korea recently attacked a South Korean island and has threatened nuclear war. It's all a reminder that the Korean War never really ended. Chuck Holton has the story.
It's the most heavily fortified border in the world, the demarcation between North and South Korea, where armed soldiers from both sides have engaged in a stare-down for more than 57 years. In recent weeks, however, the long-standing ceasefire has been broken for the second time this year, as North Korea shelled an island near disputed waters along the border, killing 4 South Koreans. The United States condemned the attack, with Admiral Mike Mullen calling for China to exert more pressure on North Korea.
We must sustain stability. I feel very strongly that it's important that the international powers focus on this, and particularly it's important that China focus on this.
As the United Nations Security Council works the diplomatic channels, South Korea's government and military decided to move forward Monday with live-fire exercises near the disputed area. North Korea condemned the exercises and threatened further retaliation, sending those living in the area into air raid shelters. The metropolitan capital of South Korea, Seoul, lies just an hour's drive south of the demilitarized zone. Among the more than 10 million residents, the overwhelming call has been for stronger measures to deter the North Koreans. Nick Kim is a pastor at Ansan Christian Church in Seoul.
When we heard the news, yes, we were very concerned about it. But the thing is, we had like a series of this kind of events, like even in this year. But this time we felt it was really serious.
Possibly the strongest deterrent to the North's military intentions would be the more than 25,000 U.S. troops stationed across South Korea. Lieutenant Colonel Art Pace has been serving the troops here as chaplain for the last year and a half.
The Korean War never actually ended, it simply stopped. And so we are still at armistice. So at this point, the soldiers coming here have a very real mission. And that mission is the protection of the Republic of Korea.
For now, the residents of Seoul are going nervously on with life, which includes their Christmas shopping, while the UN continues emergency talks to try and defuse the situation. Chaplain Pace hopes Americans will remember to pray for those troops who are away from their families, standing in the gap in South Korea this holiday season. Chuck Holton, CBN News in Seoul, South Korea.
A dozen men are in custody in the United Kingdom today, suspected of terrorism. Their arrests came after British police conducted early morning raids in 3 cities. The 12 suspects are being questioned on suspicion of preparing acts of terrorism. Police are not disclosing the details of the alleged plot. A British counterterrorism officer says the arrests involved a large-scale, pre-planned operation using officers from several different cities. Election violence has spread in Belarus, the country called the last dictatorship in Europe. Belarus is part of the former Soviet Union, and the scenes look like a page out of history as riot police beat protesters in the streets of Minsk. Election results today showed strongman Viktor Lukashenko the winner of a 4th term in office. U.S. and European observers called the results seriously flawed, and the White House condemned the election violence. A top opposition leader was beaten and apparently unconscious as he led a group protesting the election outcome.
I think this regime is digging its own grave, and with these arrests, they are arresting themselves.
Religious freedom is also harshly restricted in Belarus. Democrats in Congress have been pushing their agenda with time running out on the lame duck session. With the balance of power changing in January, they've been racing to pass controversial legislation like the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. John Jessup has the story from Washington.
President Obama is expected to sign into law this week legislation that will let gays, for the first time ever, serve openly in the U.S. military.
Repealing this policy will make our military stronger. Some have said this is not the time to repeal this policy, and they're right. It should have been done yesterday.
The final vote to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, a policy signed into law by President Clinton, came over the weekend. Opponents believe the change will harm the military and the country's national security.
To appease a small base of Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi, to appease them and sacrifice the lives of young Marines who are putting their life on the line for this nation, I don't know how they can live with that, knowing that the blood of those young Marines would be on their hands.
But when it becomes law, it won't necessarily be the final word. The military must first certify that letting gays serve openly in the ranks won't hurt the military's ability to fight. Republicans will likely challenge whether the White House and Pentagon can really prove it's safe to make this change during a time of war. Another matter of national security, a new nuclear arms treaty with Russia. President Obama says passing the treaty is a top priority.
Ratifying a treaty like START isn't about winning a victory for an administration or a political party. It's about the safety and security of the United States of America.
But the Senate's two highest-ranking Republicans have come out against it.
This was a flawed process and a flawed treaty.
I've decided I cannot support the treaty. I think the verification provisions are inadequate, and I do worry about the missile defense implications of it.
It's not only the potential limitations on missile defense to which opponents object. They also blast Democrats for waiting until the final days of the session to bring it up for debate.
You say the lame duck walks. I think it's just been a hodgepodge of special interest politics.
The fate of the START treaty is in a precarious state. In order to be ratified, it's required to get 67 votes. That means Democrats would need a number of Republicans to sign on. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
With the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell comes a number of questions about military chaplains. Some retired chaplains have predicted a repeal would prompt an exodus of chaplains from the military. Southern Baptists have been especially vocal in their opposition to the repeal. On Friday, Richard Land, president of the Southern Baptist Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission, wrote the president a personal letter. It says, homosexual behavior cannot be normalized without rejecting God's moral standards. We are saddened that this institution, the military, in which membership is a privilege, not a right, would break from a tradition of high moral conduct. Southern Baptist chaplains account for 448 of the country's 3,000 active duty chaplains. The military says that chaplains' First Amendment rights will be protected under the repeal. In its November 30th review, it notes service members will not be required to change their personal views and religious beliefs. They must, however, continue to respect and coexist with others who may hold different views. Also this weekend, the Senate blocked passage of the DREAM Act. The bill would have given the children of illegal immigrants a path to citizenship for going to college or joining the military. Republicans and some Democrats said it rewarded illegal immigration, and opponents successfully filibustered the bill. Iranian security forces are on high alert after the government slashed subsidies on food and gas. Sunday, the cost of bread doubled and prices for subsidized fuel quadrupled. Security forces flooded the capital to prevent rioting. The cuts are part of Iran's new economic plan to reduce costs in response to crippling international sanctions. The government plans to give about $8 to each citizen for 2 months to compensate for the increased prices. Jerusalem police say the murder of an American Christian woman could have been a terror attack. The murder took place in a wooded area outside Jerusalem over the weekend. Chris Mitchell has that story.
On Sunday, Jerusalem police discovered the bound and stabbed body of Christine Lucan.
Forensics are working at the scene at the moment, and the investigation is continuing.
Rosenfeld told CBN News so far no suspects have been arrested, and police are considering multiple motives, including a terror attack. Lucan disappeared Saturday after she and her friend Kay Wilson were attacked by 2 Arab men during a hike. Their disappearance sparked a massive manhunt throughout the night. Wilson was also bound and suffered many stab wounds, but managed to escape by pretending to be dead and then called for help. Wilson worked as a local tour guide. Lucan worked for a Christian ministry based in England and Israel. The attack and Lucan's death stunned her friends, family, and Israel's Christian and Messianic communities.
We love Christine very much, and we'll miss her. And we mourn with her family.
David Pileggi is the rector of Christ Church in Jerusalem who knew Lucan.
Christine was a woman who had a very infectious love for God. When you were around Christine, you couldn't help but love the Lord more. It's very simply our prayer for this great tragedy, that even though it was meant for evil, that God will use this in a redemptive way.
Lucan was living in England and waiting for a British work visa. In a recent letter, she wrote the following: "As I await the next step of faith, I hide these words in my heart." From a poem written by Minnie Louise Haskins in 1908. "Go into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light and safer than a known way." Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Disturbing. In other news, right now, Southern Californians are concerned they could see a very wet Christmas this year. A storm has already dumped more than 7 inches of rain in the area, and right now there's no real end in sight. The unending storm has caused minor mudslides, downed trees, and car accidents. A flash flood warning is also in effect, particularly in the mountain areas burned in recent years by wildfires. Meteorologists are predicting the rains will continue to fall through Christmas. Coming up, winter is one of the most dangerous times of the year for your home. We'll tell you what the risks are and how you can avoid the dangers.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
These are the greatest stories ever told. Presented by Academy Award winner Charlton Heston.
Thus saith the Lord of Israel, let my people go.
Join Charlton Heston as he travels the sacred lands of the Bible.
I'm going to take you with me on a journey exploring the stories in the Bible and the ancient land where they happened. This is said to be the very garden. This, the very rock where Jesus prayed for strength.
Now the Bible comes to life like never before. Time Life presents Charlton Heston's The Bible.
And Moses cast the tablets from his hands.
Praised by critics, this landmark TV series is now available on digitally remastered DVDs. You'll be inspired by the greatest stories from the Old and New Testaments, enhanced by historic works of art. Get Charlton Heston Presents the Bible on 4 DVDs for $49.99. Call with your credit card and save $10.
And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son.
And that's not all. You'll also get a free bonus DVD that takes you behind the scenes. And if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll ship for free. That's an additional savings of nearly $7.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever.
Call now to get Charlton Heston's The Bible on 5 DVDs for just $39.99. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll ship for free.
Now therefore go, and I will be with thee.
Call 1-800-748-5167 to order Charlton Heston Presents the Bible for $39.99 and receive free shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card.
And welcome back to CBN News Midday. 2010 has been the deadliest year for natural disasters in more than a generation. Record earthquakes, floods, volcanoes, blizzards, and droughts killed at least 250,000 people this year, compared with just 15,000 in 2009. The Haiti earthquake, Russian heat wave, and Pakistani flooding were the biggest killers. Disaster experts say poor construction practices have made natural disasters more deadly than they need to be. Californians have been living with the knowledge that a big quake could hit any time. Federal and state emergency planners have been looking at what a really big quake would do to their ability to respond. The 2-year study has painted a scary picture. Paul Strand explains.
Ducking and covering will no longer be enough to deal with a quake as big as, say, a 7.8 magnitude hitting California. A 2-year study of past quakes suggests some 1,600 fires could break out and severely tax firefighters' ability to reach and quell them all. What the recent Baja quake did to Imperial Valley, 35 miles away, shows quake victims might have to look to other states, not just neighboring counties, for vital aid.
In Imperial, we had water clarifiers for the water district that were knocked out. We had to bring in temporary water clarifiers, which are on semi-trailers,
from New York.
But so many roads might be knocked out that water couldn't reach the neediest areas.
The roads being down, the rails being down, the airports being closed, it's harder to get to the people that need our help.
The real shocker to me was the impact on infrastructure. What I mean is like your water system. I mean, we are talking not a couple hours a day. We're talking some places days, maybe even to weeks before we can get those systems back in place.
Paul Strand, CBN News.
Keep your Christmas tree away from the fireplace. It seems simple, but you'd be surprised how many careless errors lead to home fires. In fact, December is the busiest time of the year for firefighters. Lori Johnson explains.
Wintertime fires often begin when space heaters are placed too close to things that are flammable, like paper or bedding. The rule is make sure your heater is at least 3 feet away from anything combustible.
Even though it's not touching it, it will get that piece of material to its ignition temperature. With that being the point, it will instantaneously catch fire.
Many house fires originate from candles. Make sure you never leave lit candles unattended. Don't burn them longer than 3 hours at a time, and only use ones that have a low center of gravity, because tall candles tip over too easily, and when they do, fire can instantly spread throughout the entire home.
It just takes the flame the size of my fingernail to burn down a home. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds.
And does this look familiar? Overloading electrical outlets with all those strands of Christmas lights is one of the chief causes of home fires.
What you have right here is called electrical octopus, where you're putting as much into one wall socket as possible. What you want to do, you want to make sure that this wall socket has a fail-safe on it, right? Most of them that plug directly into the wall don't, so that's why we're going to use a power strip.
The power strip, if it's overloaded, will shut itself off before the problem reaches your outlet. So if you use space heaters, candles, or strings of lights this winter, take the necessary precautions to protect your home from fires they sometimes ignite. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Good advice. Up next, a look at what society was like in the Holy Land at the time Jesus was born. A new documentary brings the past to life.
What makes the miracles of Jesus even more miraculous? Standing where they happened, in Israel. Come explore Jerusalem, where Jesus opened blind eyes. Visit the hills of Galilee, where Jesus fed the multitude. Stroll through Capernaum, where Jesus lived and taught and healed. To learn more about standing where it all happened in Israel, visit www.goisrael.com. Come visit Israel.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
What makes the miracles of Jesus even more miraculous? Standing where they happened, in Israel. Come sail the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus calmed a raging storm. Experience Jerusalem, where Jesus restored a paralyzed man. Explore Capernaum, where Jesus spoke a centurion servant into health. To learn more about standing where it all happened in Israel, visit goisrael.com. Come visit Israel.
During the Christmas season, TV specials abound like gifts under the tree. One of them allows viewers to experience the Holy Land like it was during the time of Jesus. Ephraim Graham has more.
Christians around the world are preparing to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Many of them will travel to the Holy Land to visit the places where Jesus lived and walked. Just in time for Christmas, the National Geographic Channel has produced a 3-part documentary called Living in the Time of Jesus. It will air December 21st. Simcha Jakubowicz is one of the executive producers, and he joins us now by way of Skype from Jerusalem to tell us more. Simcha, Christmas is about the birth of Jesus, and part of this documentary sheds light on what childbirth was like in biblical times. So what was it like for Mary on that holy night?
Well, at that time, it was a dangerous thing, childbirth, because it was 50% infant mortality. And in fact, that's what we did in this series. We tried to look at the everyday things. Health, one of the episodes, health. What were the health options? How many people died? What kind of medicine did they turn to? And what did it mean if somebody was known as a healer in the context of a society that didn't have very many, they didn't have antibiotics. There weren't that many options at healing. We look at law and order. We look at jobs. Why is it that the disciples, 4 or 5 of them, are fishermen? Why so many fishermen in the entourage of Jesus? So instead of looking at kind of the big picture items, what we did in Living in the Time of Jesus is look at the texture of life. We want, what did people wear? What did they do when they got sick? What did it smell like? What did it feel like to live at that time?
Good information. Can't wait to see. Now, one of the gifts that the wise men brought to Jesus was frankincense. Most of us today don't even know what that is. Can you give us more information about the significance of frankincense?
Well, it's incense, basically, and it was used, as it's still used in some churches, was used in the temple. It was used really for creating an aroma for holiness. People, when you went into the temple, for example, the whole environment was to get you closer to God. And that meant all your senses had to be engaged. Smell, visually, what you felt, what you heard. So this incense, which is very, very special, it was a big business. So we literally follow the camel trail. Our host Arn, who's a great sport, he gets flogged in these shows. He goes to Bedouins and climbs on camels and retraces the roots of the frankincense. And if you lived along the route, you made a lot of money charging, because the closer it got to Jerusalem, the most expensive it got. And you made a lot of money just controlling the highway. So that's what we do. We flash back and forth between then and now. The then is recreation. The now is documentary. And try to be kind of time travelers. We literally see frankincense sold in a Jerusalem marketplace in the Old City today.
Wow. Talking about flashbacks, the Bible says that Jesus was a carpenter, and the documentary says the word might be more accurately translated as stonemason. What does the documentary have to say about that profession, being a stonemason?
Again, because we're looking at jobs, just jobs. What did people do? We try to figure out, what was it? So, for example, when you go back to the Gospels in the original Greek, the word is tekton. And tekton almost never means carpenter and almost always means stonemason, which makes sense because just within a stone throw, if you will, away from Nazareth is Sepphoris. And Sepphoris was this huge Roman city where they constantly had these giant building projects. And what did they use? They didn't use wood. If you wanted wood, you had to go to forested area. You had to go way north into what is now Lebanon, ancient Phoenicia. So there was a lot of stone, and they quarried stone, and people who were working on wood didn't do that well. But people who were experts in stone, they got a lot of work. So it makes sense that this word tekton probably refers to stonemasonry rather than carpentry.
All right. Thank you so much, Simcha Jakubowicz. We thank you so much for your time. We look forward to the documentary.
Thanks very much. I hope people time travel with us and see what it was like to live at that time.
It's certainly worth the trip. Thank you.
The documentary is called Living in the Time of Jesus, and it airs Tuesday, December 21st on the National Geographic Channel. For more information, check it out on our website, cbnnews.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Millions of women worldwide love Bare Minerals.
This is smooth, it's nice, and it covers. I like that.
Only Bare Minerals looks like beautiful bare skin, while it covers whatever you want it to. And now you can get our latest kit with our totally new, totally spill-proof Click Lock Go Foundation for over 75% off retail. Our new kit comes with Bare Minerals Foundation in the shade that's just right for you. Warmth for a healthy glow. Mineral Veil, the ultimate finishing touch, and Bare Minerals Flawless Application Brush. Call now and get 3 full-size gifts worth $57.95 free. Purchased separately, you'd spend over $120. Our original Get Started kit was a great deal at 2 payments of $29.99. But now you can get all this for just 1 payment of $29.99. Save over $90 and get a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-376-4174. Ask how you can receive this handy compact. Call 1-800-376-4174 now.
It's impossible to close an open can with a pop top. Open cans spill in the fridge. What a mess. And open cans lose their fizz. What a waste. Introducing Bottle Top. It turns your can into a bottle with the snap of a cap. Open metal cans can't travel. What a waste. Bottle Top turns your can into a bottle that's perfectly portable. You can't do this with an open can. Bottle Top lets any soda keep its carbonation. Look, bugs are gross, but Bottle Top protects your drink from insects. When you're done drinking, just pop it off. Rinse under hot water and reuse. Bottle Top keeps drinks from spilling. Now get 6 colored Bottle Tops for just $10. Call now and get 6 more. Plus, we'll send you the Can Top Popper. Just pay separate shipping and handling. You get 12 amazing Bottle Tops, plus the Can Top Popper, all for just $10.
Call 1-800-377-9176. But hurry, call now. We're giving away a bonus 6 more Bottle Tops and the Can Top Popper with today's orders. That's 1-800-377-9176. Call now.
Finally today, it was an extra special homecoming for one Nevada soldier returning from Iraq. Not only did he reunite with his new bride, he also came home to a new house for the first time, a plan that almost didn't happen. Specialist Donnie Price and his young wife dreamed of owning a house for the past year, but ran into roadblock after roadblock since they were on 2 different continents. They even came close to losing it twice after complications over a signature. The couple says it wasn't easy, but worth it.
You know, being over there or being over here doing all this, I kind of felt a little useless. Like there wasn't a lot I could do for it. Was tracking down the officers I needed to sign it when some rockets started raining in on us. And after I had gone in the building I needed to go into to get the signatures I needed, rockets landed right outside. It gives a bit of comfort knowing that everything's taken care of back here. My wife has a place to live and grow and start a career.
They're pressing on. The Prices will have a month to spend together in their new home before Donnie heads back to duty. Wow, we wish him the best. That's all for this hour of the CBN News Channel. You can find information on all the stories you've seen right here at cbnnews.com. Also stay up to date with CBN News through Facebook and Twitter. Hope you'll join us next time.
Fresh, wholesome juice. There's nothing like it. But until now, you had to stress and strain and make a huge mess to get just a little bit of juice. But not anymore, thanks to the Jack LaLanne Power Juicer. You can drop in whole vegetables, whole fruits, apples, oranges, celery, cucumbers with no chopping, no slicing, no struggling. And thanks to the Power Juicer's revolutionary patented extraction technology, you can get up to 30% more juice than those other juicers. Doctors recommend we get 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. With the Power Juicer, you'll be drinking your recommended daily allowance in just seconds. And the pulp from the extra large pulp catcher can be used to make pasta sauces, healthy desserts, and much more. The Power Juicer is dishwasher safe, so cleanup's a breeze, and the powerful motor is guaranteed for life. Order the Jack LaLanne Power Juicer now for just 2 easy payments of $49.90. And as part of this special TV offer, we'll also send you this amazing recipe guide filled with over 60 of Jack's favorite recipes. Try the Jack LaLanne Power Juicer in your home risk-free for 30 days. If you're not completely satisfied, send it back for a full refund of the purchase price, no questions asked. Call now.
We ask CBN.com users how we could make our website easier to use, and we listen.
This is really easy to read and move through.
The information opens up a whole lot quicker.
Yeah, it's much faster. There's everything I'm interested in right here. The click of a mouse.
The new CBN.com has been redesigned, making it faster to find your favorite 700 Club stories, musical guests, our online community, and special features.
Anyone can enjoy this new site.
Visit the new CBN.com today.